Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is FilmSnobbery Live. I am your host, the Film Snob Nic Baisley. We're here for 2011. I want to thank everyone for kind of showing up. First show of 2011. We've got a great show for you. We've got two wonderful guests. We actually have Lucas McNelly who's going to be joining us in a moment, little later on in the show. Rick Vaicius from the Flyway Film Festival will be on chatting with us. And then after that, we've got a couple announcements of our own. I want to thank the audience, welcome the audience here for a new year for FilmSnobbery. Actually, as of the end of this year, we'll be starting our third year. So January 31st is our official anniversary. We'll be starting year 3. After that, obviously, a lot of that is in part due to the support of viewers like you, as they say. So we've got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things going on for the new year. Obviously, we have South by Southwest. We have the screening series down in Danbury, Connecticut at the Palace Theater that we're going to be working with. It's going to be a whole lot of fun there. We're showing some great films. Starting off, it'll be the last Sunday of every month. This January's lineup is going to include Ink by Jamin Winans, What's Up Lovely by Gary King, 350 is a short by Maurice Chevet, and another short called Misdirection by our good friend Doran Kipper, who actually is a magician, and he's going to be performing there at the theater as well, which is going to be awesome. Of course, we're going to include a live FilmSnobbery live show while we're there. It's going to be live, as Jerry would say. And speaking of Jerry, he's here with us, my co-host Jerry Cavallaro. Jerry?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was going to be a part of this one.
Well, you know, I consider it every show. It's a dilemma.
Should I introduce him or not?
Exactly. It's like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea about this show. Unfortunately, Ryan Nishan not here with us this evening. He's having kind of a personal issue thingy where he has no power, heat, hot water, anything like that. Wah, wah, wah. No. So he's taking care of that, so he can't be with us right this second. But you know what? We hopefully he'll get that taken care of, and we'll see him next week. Or rather, maybe not see him, hear him. But that being said, I want to welcome our first guest. You guys know him from his film currently in post-production, Upcountry, Blanc de Blanc, and also his new Kickstarter campaign, A Year Without Rent, that I'm sure you've seen all over Twitter and his Facebook and all that, as he's done everything he possibly can to raise the $12,000 that he's looking for his new project. He's going to talk to us a little bit about that. Later on, Rick Vaicius from the Flyway Film Festival will be here. We've got a joint announcement we're going to be talking about, and we're going to chat with him a little bit about what's going on there. And that's really what we've got going on. But so stay tuned. I'm going to cut over to our good friend right now, introduce him a bit. You've seen him here on the show before. He is our good friend, Lucas McNelly. Hello, Mr. Lucas.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Hi again.
Hi again, yeah.
Hi again. For those of you guys who don't know, we started the show for ourselves, but we didn't hit the broadcast button. So we got about this far.
It was really clever.
It was. We got like this far, and then we were like, oh, by the way, we're not online. So here we are again. Lucas, I want to welcome you to the show again. Not only again, not only again, tonight, but again as your second guest. Second as in your second time. What have you been up to since the last time you were on the show?
Oh, quite a bit. Let's see, I was on there in May, and so since then I made a feature film, which we shot in the middle of nowhere in the northern woods of Maine, far away from electricity and Starbucks and rental houses and everything like that. And now, since that's being edited, I'm working on putting this other project together called A Year Without Rent, where basically what I'm going to do is spend a year going around the country and volunteering on people's independent film projects and helping them get their projects made, be an extra set of hands, stuff like that, and then document the whole process through blog posts and video and photos and all that to sort of show these filmmakers to a larger audience.
I mean, it kind of seems like you're doing the ultimate behind-the-scenes documentary. Like, you know, if this like rather than the behind-the-scenes being on one DVD like special features type of thing, it's like you're taking a bunch of movies and doing all the behind-the-scenes almost type of thing, and making.
Yeah,
now, is
that's
this
a really good way to think of it?
Yeah, I mean, is this going to be is this going to be almost like another feature film that will end up happening out of this, or what's
Well, I thought about turning it into like a full-length documentary, and then, I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of full-length documentaries that have all that footage of a guy driving from point A to point B, you know, and it gets to be a bit much. And so I thought there would probably be a more interesting way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the video clips, which will be, you know, they'll be like 4 minutes here, 8 minutes here, stuff like that.
Right.
Combine that with the photos, combine that with the writing, and put it all into like a multimedia ebook sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Or an iPad app, or whatever, you know, in 1 year is the technology that best supports that.
Holograms. That's where we'll be
Holograms.
at. A year from now, holograms, jetpacks, and flying cars.
A little 4-inch version of Phil Holbrook on your desk.
I don't want that.
As he drinks coffee.
I would just be tempted to.
Daily.
I would just be tempted to watch it, you know, to like try to play with his mustache.
Yeah.
Because I've said it before.
That's really the benefit.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. The man looks like the guy on the Pringles can. But that being said, we all love Phil, so it's all good. And he knows.
Are you thinking of Greg? I think you're thinking of Gregory Bates.
You know,
and the mustache. Yeah, Phil has more a beard.
You got a point there, but I always thought that Gregory was more Planters Peanut guy. No. But so let's talk a little bit about. We'll get to your Year Without Rent in 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about Upcountry. Now you filmed that up in Maine, right?
Yeah, up. Basically, as far up on 95 as when I-95 stopped going north, because it's kind of out of north to go in the U.S. and start heading east into Canada. Around that general area, we filmed in the woods. Basically, middle of nowhere, you know, logging roads, walking through brush, stuff like that.
Right.
Sometimes we were a mile away from the car.
And how was that on your performers? I mean, you know, did that affect performance in terms of them being tired?
It affected it, sure. I mean, they were exhausted. Everybody was exhausted. But that was kind of what we were going for, because the story is these 3 guys go on a fishing trip in northern Maine, and the guy that they hire takes all their stuff and just abandons them in the middle of the woods. And so then they got to figure out their way out. So it was a fitting situation to put everybody in, and we really had to, you know, we had to pack light. We had a small crew, so almost all of our lighting was some bounce boards.
Gotcha. Now,
and stuff like that.
Now, where did you find your cast and crew to crew up for this? I'm actually looking in the chat room here, and Miles Maker actually is in the chat room. So hi, Miles.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, that he tweeted your casting call to his Directing Actors Network, and you actually got an actor from there, Kieran Roberts.
Yeah, Miles found that guy for me in like an hour, maybe.
Nice.
It was really quick. And Kieran was he was kind of a perfect fit. And he was a trooper. Because he's sort of the last man standing in the movie, and we had him rolling around in the mud, and we got this like black guy from Brooklyn who's walking around the northern woods, Maine, going through brush, and we're just taking him through like the thickest, densest shit we can find.
Nice.
And he was fantastic. Yeah, and we found Johnny Mars through a friend of mine who lives in Austin, who I know through Facebook. She connected me with Johnny, and then Tyler Peck I found on a like Boston area casting board sort of thing.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Well, all right. So you're in post-production right now, and actually what I want to do is I'm going to break up our little talk right now. I'm actually going to show you guys a rough cut clip that Lucas sent to me here to show you guys a rough cut clip from Upcountry. I hope we just downloaded it. I hope to God it plays. I have no idea if it will or not.
We'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So let's either way, we'll cut to it, and if it plays, enjoy. If it doesn't, we'll be right back with our guest Lucas McNelly. Either way, and we'll talk a little bit more about Upcountry and A Year Without Rent. So stick around. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. All right, so that was a little quick clip from Upcountry with, that directed by Lucas McNelly, our guest here. Yeah, that was to identify the guest or the actors in the scene. Thankfully, Miles Maker was there to tell us that Kieran's the black dude, the dark man in the brush, kind of like the bald black actor from Predator.
Yeah, well, all right.
Which, you know what, to compare Kieran to Louis Gossett Jr., that's pretty much a compliment, isn't it?
I think he'll take that.
I think he will. He's going to have him some fun. So that was Upcountry, and I got to tell you, you know what's funny? The cinematography to me reminded me a lot of like Lost, oddly enough. Which, take that as a compliment, because that was a very, that was a very well shot series.
Someone else emailed it to me. He's like, I keep expecting the smoke monster to show up.
See, there you go.
Excellent.
So now, what did you actually shoot that on?
We shot on the 7D, which was loaned to us by Sean Hackett, who's a filmmaker in LA. He was very kind to send us his 7D, and let's shoot it for a week.
Nice. So, and I'm sorry, I was reading the chat room as well. But no, that's really cool that you got, the camera you shot on, that, it was kind of like loaned to, not only from, I mean, where did you run into, how did you get that?
Sean used to run the Now Film Festival in LA, which was affiliated with YouTube and MySpace, and a short of mine, a 23-minute silent film I made about a pregnant woman, played in that festival and actually finished second to a film starring Rainn Wilson. And so I went up to LA for that, and that's how I know Sean.
Okay, cool. Well, now let me. We've talked enough about Upcountry. Let's get that out of our minds until whenever. I mean, geez, we just go on and on with that. But
2010.
Yeah, it's so 2010. 2011 is where we're talking about A Year Without Rent, which is your new Kickstarter project. You're trying to raise 12 grand, and you've only got like 25 hours to go.
Oh yeah, we're really pushing the limits.
Yeah.
Of it, the whole thing. Yeah.
Now you've been all over Twitter, you've been all over Facebook. Frankly, I'm sick of you.
I'm sick of me. I just start making stuff up now, and just to see if someone says anything.
I mean, I'm saying you guys, hipsters should really donate to this before it gets popular. I thought that was clever. To show you, I do read them. So what?
My favorite one is the only thing an indie filmmaker knows how to quit is his day job.
That's funny. No, and very, very true. Now, my question is, you know, for the people in the audience, which I think that everyone that's in the chat room right now knows what's going on.
15 tweets about it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But let's explain to the audience who will watch this probably later. So, future audience, what is a year? Hopefully, a future audience that's within 25 hours. What is a year without rent, and where did this idea come from?
Well, the idea came from Upcountry, which is convenient, which is how I've been able to sneak Upcountry clips into interviews about a year without rent. Because we brought everybody, like nobody who worked on Upcountry was from Maine or even near Maine. The closest person was in Boston. And everybody came from way out of town. And I thought, you know, at first that was a little frightening. And then once you do it, once you realize you don't have to cast locally or you don't have to crew locally, because we had no cast and crew locally, you realize that it's really freeing. Because you can just pick anywhere. You pick people from wherever you want. It's just plain ticket, you know? And so then I began to think about how the hardest part of getting this film made was getting everybody here. So then I thought it would be really interesting to be able to go around and go to all these out-of-the-way places like Brainerd, Minnesota, and Boise, Idaho, and Texas, and Georgia, and wherever, and see how these filmmakers who don't live in New York and LA operate.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, as far as the you know what you're offering basically is, you know, you're going to go around and you're going to help out other filmmakers on their productions, basically in exchange for you know a place to hang your hat, you know, albeit briefly, and maybe some food.
Some space on the floor and a hot shower would be great.
That would be great. Hot shower, I'm guessing, is.
We thought about not really raising money on Kickstarter and just sort of going with it, you know, and saying, oh, if you want us to come, then you got to, like, get us there. But then I thought, you know, you're a producer, I'm a producer. The money's getting stretched far enough as it is.
Right.
So what we wanted to be able to do is we wanted to be able to go anywhere to any film that had a stretch of the floor that we could sleep on and, you know, a hot shower. And we wanted to be able to not make it a limitation of, if you have extra room in your budget, bring us on.
Right.
You know, we wanted to be able to open it up wide, and we thought we'd be able to get, like, the coolest projects that way. And those would be the most interesting ones. So basically what the Kickstarter funds do is keep us on the road. And it's essentially, it's gas, it's insurance on me in case I, like, break my leg. You know, like hanging from some rafters, which I've owned at least 3 times in my life on sets. So, you know, it's just basically stuff like that to keep us on the road so we can go to all these different places.
Okay.
And so we're not having to go hand in hand all year long going, oh, please, 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 get us from this place to this place.
Well, we have a couple questions from the audience. The first question is from Bill Ostroff from First Glance Film. He asks, are they paying you to work on their projects, or is this kind of like you're volunteering your time in exchange for a place to stay?
Totally volunteering. If you got extra money in your budget and you want to pay me, then that's fantastic, but that's not really part of it.
Okay, and then we have another question from Miles Maker, which is, how do you decide? Hey, Miles. How do you decide who you're going to help and where you're going to go and all that kind of stuff? Like, what's the logistical plan of how you're getting to places and where you're going and all that?
Well, there's a couple different factors. So let's say that I'm in Chicago and someone says, we have a thing that's starting next week. If 2 people say, I have a project that's going to start next week. If one of them is in Arizona and one of them is in Ohio, then we're probably going to go to Ohio.
Right.
Because it's just easier to get from point A to point B.
Okay.
So that's a big factor. I have someone is helping me with logistics. So she's going to sort of take all of the sort of logistical stuff and tell me where to go. Mm-hmm. And then it may just come down to, you know, which of the 2, all else being equal, may just come down to which project sounds cooler.
Okay. And now we have another actual question too, as well, from the audience. Dowx Productions asks, why did you use Kickstarter rather than one of the crowdfunding sites that isn't all or nothing, but I'll flat out go out and say Indiegogo because they're our partner.
Well, I'm familiar with Kickstarter, so that was a factor. And the other thing was I didn't want to say, because I see a lot of times on Indiegogo, which is really great that if you don't hit your goal, you can still get the money, and the things are longer, but my big fear is that I'm going to end up in Iowa with like $4 in my pocket, you know?
I know that feeling.
You know, I mean, that's the big thing, and I don't want to spend the whole year asking for money and crowdfunding and fundraising. I want to spend the time that I'm on the road, I want to spend that time actually, and that time that we have to broadcast, if you will, we want to spend that time talking about the films that we're working on, because, you know, that's a lot more interesting than saying, oh, we need $200 more this week, or we're going to have to shut down the project, and blah, blah, blah. And that'll get really tiresome.
Yeah. Now,
And it's a lot more, you know, let's get that out of the way so we can talk about the projects and what's going on with the whole thing.
Yes, let's do that.
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff. So,
Yeah.
So you know, you've you know, we're kind of dealing with the money aspect. You're trying to raise, you know, $12,000. You've got like 4,000 and change. 25 hours to go. If for some reason, and I hope to God you make it. If for some reason you don't make it, are you planning to? Are you hoping to still do the project, but maybe try to raise money in increments as you go along? I mean, is it more? You know, do you think it might end up with more of a?
We're looking. We have someone else who's looking at sponsorship options, but he hasn't had any headway yet on that. But as King of the Think told me, they're like, raise the money and then, you know, the sponsorship can be extra. You know, you could actually, you know, pay your logistics person or something.
Right.
You know, yeah, I mean, there's the self-bailout option if we get close enough where we can find somebody who has that much money. One of our backers said, they're like, I'd give you like $3,000 and like, just so it would, you know, get the ball rolling, but then I'm afraid you would make it and I don't have $3,000.
Right. No, that makes sense. And then,
so,
right.
Because Kickstarter has this thing, you know, it's once the momentum hits a certain point, it snowballs.
Right.
And then it just sort of keeps going because it stops being, oh, we need to get this project funded, and it starts becoming, holy shit, this guy's going to lose $9,000.
Fair enough. Now, all
I
right.
have $5 laying around. I can help him not lose the money he's already raised.
All right. Well, and what I'm going to do to make sure, because I know we're gonna run out of time a little bit, but what we're going to do on our end to give you a hand, we don't have a lot of money to give you, but one of the things we do have over here at FilmSnobbery is we have tons of great sponsors who have given us a lot of groovy things to give away to our audience. And so what I'm going to do is, I would say the next person that makes a donation, that's watching this right now, that makes a donation of any amount of money over, let's say, $10. I will give you guys a free pair of passes to Landmark Theaters. You can go to, you know, it's a VIP pass. You can go any movie of your choice, anytime, no blackouts. So free. So yeah, so you get to go go to a movie, and do that, and you're going to be helping out Lucas. And
very cool of you.
Yeah, thank you. And I will say, if anyone donates, let's see, I will go with, if anyone donates $100 or more, $100 or more. Tonight while we're on the show, or within the next 25 hours, let's say, and hopefully contacts me, I'll give you a free copy of Final Draft.
Hey, and what does Final Draft cost? I haven't bought anything like that in a while.
It's like $200 or $250 or something like that.
Hey, what you're telling me is that you're saving $150 on Final Draft.
What, that is
you're backing a project.
I think I just said that, and you know, and a possibility, if you can't afford $100, you know, even if you donate $10, you're going to the movies for free. You know, you can buy your own popcorn. You know, screw that. But you know,
you can't go to the movies for $10 anymore.
You can't go to the movies. Two tickets for $10. 2 tickets for $10. You basically
could go see Black Swan.
Yep, and you could go see Black Swan, and you get.
What I'm going to do as soon as this damn project is over.
Because you get some Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman hot action going on there.
I'm going to go see Black Swan or something. I'm going to get away from the computer for a day or two.
So what I want to do is, you guys out there, if you do donate the $10, we'll have Lucas verify it. But if you do donate, just be sure to email me your contact information, Nick.
I got my email up right now.
There you go.
It'll pop up.
Yep. So Nick, it's just NIC at FilmSnobbery.com is my email address. You'll have to email me your contact information. We'll verify it with Lucas to make sure that that's what's happening. And if you donate,
it would be much easier as if it just came in right now, and then I could just tell you.
Wouldn't that be awesome if live here,
so much easier.
Here on the show, someone donated at least $10 so that they could get some free movie tickets.
We would talk about how cool you are on the show.
We would talk about how cool you are on the show, because if you're donating to A Year Without Rent over at Kickstarter.com, again, Kickstarter.com, you just search for A Year Without Rent from Lucas McNelly here. You could check it. I know, I've actually typed in just like a year, and you're the only one that pops up.
They won't put us on the front page for some reason.
And Studio Alethea says, do they still get the reward if the project doesn't fund? Would that be the reward, the prizes here, or would that be any other?
Oh, the Kickstarter reward. Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if we don't hit our goal, then nobody spends any money,
right?
And basically no transaction happens at all.
Right.
But we've already done the Bizarro map for the $25 and up people. We've already done like 38 of them. So we're not going to go and delete them.
Right.
And I'll probably just go in and keep doing them because they're kind of fun.
Yep. So
they're pretty entertaining. So
so
that one you'll probably get no matter what, even if we don't make it. And Waterhole Movie there will tell you it's a wicked bargain and totally worth it. So that.
He would use the words wicked bargain, too.
He would use wicked bargain. Well, he would probably be drunk this time of night. So, and if you go on the project, you'll see that we've been endorsed pretty much by everybody who's everybody in independent film. All the way from Ed Burns tweeted it the other day. Ted Hope's been tweeting it. John Reese has been tweeting it. It was in Filmmaker magazine. It was in Film Threat. It was all over the place.
Yeah, and I want to say congratulations on the Filmmaker magazine deal on that. That's absolutely that's a good one. I'm real happy to see that. I'm happy to see that people are getting behind this, because I mean, it's nice to know that at least you're going to go and you're going to be an extra kind of hand on set and stuff like that. Again, we were talking right before the show. I wish I had you here because my director's not here tonight. We should have planned it a little bit better. Now, another thing that we're going to do is, I know your project ends tomorrow night at midnight. What I'm going to do is, once I've got a few things sorted out on my end tomorrow, probably from about 6 o'clock to midnight, I'm thinking what we're going to try to do is we may try to broadcast and just kind of stay on the line with you guys. Not quite a sleep strike, but maybe we'll just we'll have a telethon of sorts.
Ooh.
So
now, I should mention, Film Courage has been massively helpful in this. They have been I got a hold of them, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and they have been just beating the drums maybe harder than I have. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's David.
And Karen have been great.
Yeah, that's David and Karen. That's them. That's what they do. And then big props up to Film Courage for being huge supporters of all things indie. And if they watch this, hopefully they do. I want to say Happy New Year to David and Karen. We always hit each other up on the holidays. Like we're famous at this point for just missing each other on different things. Like he'll call me, I'll miss his call. I'll text him, but he won't get back to me for like a day or two. It's just because both of our schedules are just crazy. But Happy New Year to David and Karen over at Film Courage. You guys can check out filmcourage.com. They've got their show. They've got the different columns, obviously, that they're working on. You can see Dow X Productions is up on there, and so is.
That's true. We're going to be syndicating content through Film Courage, so the content will be all over the place, and the content will all pretty much be free. We haven't figured out a way to charge money for any of it, so I'm pretty sure at this point it's going to all be free.
Great.
So even if you don't give to the campaign, you'll be able to follow along and see all these cool filmmakers from around the country.
Cool. Yeah, no, that'll be awesome.
We will talk about your film, and that would be awesome, and that's like free publicity and shit.
Free publicity and shit is always good. I'm a big fan of not only publicity, I'm also a big fan of shit. So we're
we consider that Filmmaker magazine is paying attention to the project, so then Filmmaker magazine will, by extension, be watching us work on your project.
And that's actually a very good point. So there you go. Filmmaker magazine is endorsing A Year Without Rent. So by the transitive property, they're endorsing your project.
In school, yeah.
So there we go. So again, Lucas, I want to thank you. Hopefully we'll get a donation or two tonight from the show for you to help push you along. If not,
nothing's popped up yet, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
In the chat room.
These freaking people in the chat room. I blame, you know, I personally, I blame Miles Maker. I don't know why.
I was just thinking it was probably Miles' fault.
You know,
he's probably being a bad influence.
I think he is. You know, he's just, you know, forget about it.
I got that Pariah movie he's promoting that's also on Kickstarter. But they have, the thing is, see, the Pariah movie thing is like, it looks like a really good project, and I'm sure it is. They have like 14 days left.
Studio Althea just made a really interesting point. He says only poor people watch your show, and that's true because independent filmmakers watch my show, and they're all poor.
True. But you know what? I'm a poor independent filmmaker, and I'm looking at like $4 in loose change that is sitting on my desk.
Well, you're going like the hobo way, like stick and bindle.
Yeah.
You're gonna be living off of beans.
Yeah, that's my life is like a Jack Kerouac existence. So we do it. Someone came in, but not for but for $1, which is very cool.
Cool.
Alexia Anastasio.
Oh yeah. She. We know her. I'm trying to think of like her name on Twitter, and it's completely. I think it's. I'm trying to think of her name on Twitter, and I can't remember what it is.
Hopefully she will tweet us, and then we can thank her properly.
I hope she will.
The dollar ones, and like someone earlier today gave $3. Those are my favorite ones because it's, you know, it says to you, this person does not have a lot of money, but they're willing to put forward what they have to help a project that they believe in. You know, it's kind of like the story in the Bible of the widow's mite, you know, where the widow puts in like the penny and the rich guy puts in like a big bag of gold. And she's like, well, the widow's is more valuable because she's only got like 2 pennies.
Exactly. And you know what? And that being said, you know, get her information. She's getting a pair of movie tickets too.
There you go.
So that's what's happening. That just happened.
Right. And have her information, or should I get it to you?
You get it to me. You get it to me when you can, and we'll notify her on hopefully on Twitter and stuff like that, and we'll get the ball rolling on that. But Alexia Anastasio,
she just got tickets for like $1.
You just got 2 movie tickets for $1. You're going to movies for $1. So, but that rocks hard. So, Lucas, we're kind of unfortunately at the end of our time for tonight. But again, everyone join us.
We're not bumping Rick, are we? Because Rick is awesome.
Yeah, we were bumping Rick a little bit, so we have to get to. We got to get to Rick, but what we'll do.
Sorry, Rick.
Rick's on the line with us now, so you can say, Rick, hello.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right. Well, I was being quiet because I want Lucas to get to his goal. So.
You've been listening to me enough recently, I think.
Too much if you have some people around my house, but that's all right.
Well,
you know, if we hit the goal, we'll shut up. So that's the big motivation, really.
So please let him hit the goal.
Yeah.
My Twitter feed's full. But Lucas, I want to thank you for coming on. Hopefully you'll have some time tomorrow. We'll come on and we'll just kind of chat with the audience a bit and plug A Year Without Rent for you.
I'll be here.
I hope so, and we'll get a little bit more out there, and hopefully we can still raise some money. My offer will extend till midnight tomorrow night for the $100 donation of Final Draft, and I will give away one more free pair of tickets to the next person that does donate. Anything.
Just popped up. Do you know Lynn Dickinson?
Lynn Dickinson? No, I don't. I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, she just pledged, so I'll track her down.
Excellent. So, but you know what? 2 pledges while we're on the show, even if it's $1, who cares? You know, money's money, and we'll keep going.
More important than money.
I agree. So what we'll do is we'll coordinate on our end, Lucas, to get everything set up there, and we'll see you. We'll hear from you. I'm hoping tomorrow.
All right, and I will hang up so you can talk to Rick.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, joining us next, you guys know him as the executive director of the Flyway Film Festival. He's been on the show before. He's a great guy. He just had the Flyway Film Festival. Everyone that was there had a great time and wouldn't shut up about it online. It made me feel bad because I wasn't there. But he's on the show again now. He's returning. He's got a big announcement he wants to talk about, and so we're going to talk to him, Mr. Rick Vaicius. Rick, how are you?
I'm doing great, Nick. Thanks for having me on again, and I really hope Lucas gets his. I hope he gets the money because we're looking forward to seeing him out at Flyway in October.
That would be awesome. I mean, yeah, Lucas has a good shot. I mean, he's under the gun. He's only got a little bit of time left. It's kind of like that sports analogy. It's like, fourth quarter, and only he's like 10 in yards. You know what I mean? Or first and 10, or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't watch sports. But he's at the end. He can see the goal. It's just he needs a big push from the community out there. So hopefully everyone is checking out A Year Without Rent over on Kickstarter. Send him a buck. If what is it? He's at 4,000 and change. Let's round it to 5. If he's got 5,000, he's 12. If 7,000 people each send him a buck, he's good to go.
That's right.
So there we go.
Wouldn't take too much to get him there. I think if everybody just jumps on, and maybe we can overload the Kickstarter servers and.
That would be awesome. Overloading, crashing Kickstarter would be a coup. That would be awesome. So, but we're done talking about Lucas. So we're going to talk about him all day tomorrow. Let's talk about you and Flyway Film Festival right now. What's going on with Flyway? You've got something you wanted to come on and talk about, and what's up?
Well, we can start off by saying our call for entries is open. People can go to our website, download the entry form, and again, entries are free. One of the things that we just have decided to continue to do as long as we absolutely possibly can is to offer up to filmmakers that they can send us their entry and we're not going to charge them a dime. So that's topic number one. And topic number two is a little bit of a challenge that we're throwing out there, and with the support of FilmSnobbery and the good people at Sony Creative and Final Draft, we're launching a Flyway Film Festival trailer competition. Mm-hmm. And we'd like to encourage filmmakers out in the world to send us a 30-second or a 60-second trailer that we would use that would run in front of each of the screen blocks at the 2011 Flyway Film Festival in October.
That's awesome. So what is there a prize difference between the 30-second clips and the 60-second trailers?
No, at this point there really aren't, because we're valuing them both kind of the same, because the 30-second trailer may actually be used for a media buy, and so that little 30-second clip might actually show up on IFC or the Sundance Channel via Comcast in places like Minneapolis and St. Paul and some of the other markets that we're trying to attract attendees from.
That would be, I mean, that's worth the cost of entry alone, which is free, mind you.
Exactly, and that's why we want to kind of value them the same.
Right.
And specifically what we're looking for is something that speaks to independent film, something that speaks to perhaps our location on the upper Mississippi River in the Midwest. And we're leaving it up to the filmmakers as to how to interpret those things. They can be funny, they can be dramatic, they can be experimental. And we're just looking for the most creative, most interesting, and engaging 30 and 60-second pieces out there.
Excellent. And DowX Productions actually does ask you, how's your local sponsorships going?
Our local sponsorships right now, pretty much every individual sponsor from last year has signed up to re-up for 2011. A number of them have offered to increase their level of sponsorship over last year based on things like, increased attendance by about 36% for 2010 over 2009, increased media exposure in the Twin Cities and in our region. So we're getting some higher profile notice, and people are looking at it as a worthwhile as a worthwhile thing to get involved with.
Well, we have another question here from the audience as well, and this is a good opportunity to kind of rehash what Flyway is all about. If for those of you who don't remember, we had Rick on right before Flyway last year, and we talked about it. But Kim Garland, KGNYC on Twitter, asked what is what'd she say here? I've heard of Flyway, but know nothing. What's the deal? Where's the beat, Rick?
We're starting our 4th season this year. We're a year-round programmer of films with a 4-day film festival, 3rd weekend of October. And we program everything from student films all the way up to international features, documentaries. And we really, really are interested in supporting truly young, emerging filmmakers, people that we have latched onto and feel really strongly about. People like Gary King. Jake Stetler was out this past year. Talked to him, and he said, he's going to work his darndest to get something in our hands for Flyway in October. King is a Fink, Phil Holbrook, lots and lots of people that we are trying to support, encourage, and provide a forum for exhibition to.
Yep. So and yeah, we had Rick, like I said, we had Rick on last year. It's everyone who went to that fest just had a really great time. They were talking about it literally like the entire next month afterwards. Gary King had an awesome time. There's some great things that came out of it, and it's really good to see. I mean, I know that Wisconsin is kind of blowing up in terms of the indie film culture. I mean, between Phil Holbrook and Ego Fest there, and your Flyway Film Festival there, and just in general, it seems like you're even getting a lot of business from like Chicago, like that kind of area coming out that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really good. So let's talk a little bit more about the contest here that you're running. You have a trailer contest, so make a trailer, either 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and tell them what they'll win, Rick.
Wow, what they'll win, and thanks to you guys for helping support that, they're going to win a copy of Sony Vegas Pro 10, a copy of Final Draft, and a gigantic cardboard check for $250.
Yes, gigantic cardboard check. I've always wanted to get one of those. Just so I can.
Come on out, send us a trailer, and maybe you'll win.
Yeah, I'll send you a trailer. All it'll be is just like clips from FilmSnobbery, and then it would basically be an ad for FilmSnobbery. And people would look at it and they would be like, I would never watch this. But maybe with $250 I could do something that people would watch. That being said, when is the deadline for entries?
We're taking entries to the trailer competition through July 31st. So that gives people some time to craft an idea and then put it down on film and edit it and get it to us.
Awesome.
We'll notify the winners sometime around the middle of August.
That's excellent. I want to again mention and reiterate for those of you guys out there who missed it the first and second and third time, Flyway Film Festival is a fee-free festival. There's no submission fees to enter, and there's no submission fees for obviously this particular contest. He's throwing down the gauntlet and saying, I want you to make your best 30-second, 60-second trailer. I want you to send it to us, and a copy of Final Draft, a copy of Sony Vegas Pro 10, which, by the way, does support stereoscopic 3D now, and editing, which is great. And also it comes with DVD Architect, which you can burn and create Blu-rays with. So that's also very, very important.
That's awesome.
That's very, very important. So I want to just kind of mention that to the filmmakers out there, and it doesn't cost you anything but the time to make your trailer, so I think it's definitely worthwhile, and you can get $250 on a giant cardboard check. That alone is worth it. So
that's right. Maybe Gary King will actually be the guy that hands it to him.
Well, Studio Alethea says, as a filmmaker, Flyway is great. If you're not a filmmaker like myself, you have to pony up big bucks to get a pass. But I think that what Studio Alethea might not understand is that the big bucks you're spending on your pass allows them to keep their festival free to filmmakers and to showcase more awesome films, which is entertainment for you. So, how much is your entertainment value worth for these indie movies that you might not be able to see otherwise?
Well, and to be honest, our passes were $75.
Oh, that's just a freaking ripoff. Jesus. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that included admission to our opening night party with free food and free beer and cider down at our festival lounge. A screening pass was $50. That got you, priority seating to any of the screenings that happen Friday through Sunday. If you easily see 10 movies in a weekend, seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah, no, and Studio Althea, I'll put it in perspective for you. I have to go to South by Southwest in March. And in March, if I weren't going to speak and I had to pay for my ticket is almost $1,000. So $1,000 versus like $75 or whatever it is, that is relatively cheap. And compared to other larger festivals like Sundance and Toronto and stuff like that, like they mentioned it actually in the Drew Baca 35 actually in the chat room said it obviously never been to TIFF or Sundance. Same thing, yeah. So it's they're expensive, but no, Studio Althea just bought a house. Congratulations. So I can understand him being what they call house poor. But good. By the way, Studio Althea, good to see you here in 2011. Regardless, here at FilmSnobbery, and hopefully, because he's only an hour away from you, Rick. So hopefully he'll be, by this time next year, or by the time for Flyway next year, he'll be able to afford to truck on down to you.
Well, hopefully so. And I'd like to meet him. I'll buy him a beer.
So you can pay for your ticket, but you still get a beer, free beer. It's about the freebies, and you get to meet like half the people that are in this chat room, because I know most of them will show up. So
exactly, I'm hoping Don Lex will come out this year, and we'll get to have him spin some records at a party or something.
Absolutely. So what? Do you have anything else going on with Flyway right now, or is it the big? No,
there's lots of stuff bubbling for this year that I think filmmakers are really going to like. For lack of a better term, we're working on a concept right now called the Filmmakers Enclave, where we hope to be able to do some professional development things that filmmakers might be interested in. So if there are filmmakers out there that are particularly interested in a discipline or hearing somebody that has a great seminar or speech that they've heard of, or a talk that they've heard from somebody else, and they want us to take a look at bringing some people out. We're open to those suggestions right now. We've got a few things bubbling.
You mean like my South by Southwest accepted seminar? Your baby is ugly, something like that? No, I'm kidding.
Right now we want the filmmakers out there to help us shape the kind of things that we can provide for them in terms of bringing people in that they'd like to be able to sit down and talk to or learn from. And right now we have an opportunity to potentially use a facility that would allow us to do some pretty interesting things, and even to the extent of workshopping, doing some serious workshopping of works in progress. So if there are filmmakers out there that are in the midst of a work in progress in October, and they want us to consider doing some serious workshopping with their peers on their work, that's something that we're open to as well. Also, maybe I've got somebody that's sending me a couple of screenplays that we're going to take a look at and see if that might be something that we might consider doing, is workshopping some screenplays. But right now, the slate is clean, and we're looking for ideas and input.
Well, Flyway Film Festival, they'll workshop the shit out of you. It'll be awesome. So that's the tagline I'm going to use right now. Flyway Film Festival, they'll workshop the shit out of you. So Flyway Film Festival, what do you have the dates for the next year's already? I know that you said call for entries is open right now.
Yep.
Awesome.
Our call is open right now. They can go to the website and download the PDF for the entry form. We're taking entries till July 31st for the shorts program, the narrative feature program, the documentary feature program, and student films.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no entry fee.
No entry fee.
And the dates of the festival this year are going to be October 20th through the 23rd.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you, Rick, for coming on the show again, and congratulations on launching the big contest, your trailer contest. Remember, guys, 30 seconds or 60 seconds. You could be on TV. You could be on the IFC or the Sundance Channel. You could be getting a giant cardboard check, and you could be getting some cool prizes brought to you by Sony Vegas and Sony Creative Digital and Final Draft, and all furnished by us here at Film Snobbery. So everyone wins. That's what we're trying to get at here. When you work with Film Snobbery and the Flyway Film Festival and everyone else here in the indie community, everyone wins. So
that's right. Thanks a lot, Nick. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you guys here in October as well.
I hope so. I know that First Glance Film here in the chat room said don't make any plans for October yet because they have First Glance Philly. So and I ran into this problem last year where it was either I was going to be in Philly or there, but hopefully we can make the dates work.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. So thanks, Rick. You have a great night.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. So that was Rick Vaicius, Flyway Film Festival, folks. We're going to wrap up the show a little bit here, but I do want to make a couple announcements again. I want to remind everyone that a Film Snobbery Live presents A Day at the Palace is going to be starting this January 30th at the Palace Theater in Danbury, Connecticut, just north of New York City. You can get to it by rail, by bus, by car. Real easy to get to, right off the highway, no problem. So if you're up here in the Northeast, come check out our first independent screening series. We've got some great movies. We have What's Up Lovely, Inc., 350, and Misdirection. It's going to be a blast. We're going to do a live Film Snobbery show there at the screening. We may or may not be able to do a live streamed show. We're working on that. I actually got a meeting with them this weekend to go and check out the whole technical setup down there. But I've heard we've got some Wi-Fi, so as long as it's not like the shitty hotel Wi-Fi Jerry and I had in Orlando, we should be good to go. We'll figure out the logistics soon. But again, it's going to be the last Sunday of every month. We just announced our lineup for February 27th. That's going to include Film Snobbery Live favorites, John Dragonis' movie Cerise. We're going to have Elias Plagianos' movie The Magic Crimson Mask. Crimson Mask, and then we also have Meth by Michael Maney, and we got just some great films. I'm just so excited for the lineups that we have going forward. I want to remind everyone that we are accepting submissions for the screening series. If you guys have a movie out there, you want to have your movie shown on the big screen, submissions are $10. $10 for an opportunity to possibly show your movie on a big screen to an audience here in the Northeast. You're not going to find that kind of deal in New York. You're not going to find that kind of deal in Boston. If you're up here in the Northeast, $10, and if your movie gets selected, we'll throw you up on the big screen in front of an audience. We will do a live Film Snobbery live show with you. If you can make it down here with us, we will sit you down. We'll have a talk kind of like what we've had here with Lucas McNelly and Rick Vaicius tonight, but it'll actually be live and the audience could see you and interact with you. It'll be awesome. And we're always, we're going to have, going forward, we've got plans to have bands play and do a whole bunch of other kind of fun, gimmicky little fun stuff. So it should be a really great time. If tickets are on sale, if you go to screenings.filmsnobbery.com, tickets, and you use the little promo code FilmSnob130, you guys can get tickets for $10. Otherwise, they're $12 at the door. But 4 movies for $10. We just continue the tradition of let's just give you free shit. That's pretty much what we do, because $10 for an entire day's worth of film, pretty good deal. Miles Maker, hey Nick, how close, easy is it to get there from New York City? Well, you could take the train right out of Grand Central, and it stops literally right next to the theater. It's like the next street over. You could take a bus, and it drops you off right in front of the theater. Or you could take a car, and it's right off of, it's exit 4 off of 84, I think, which is right off of this is where I get stuck because I don't remember all of my roads going into New York City. It's right north of Manhattan. You really cannot miss it. It's about 45 minutes drive total from Manhattan. 45 minutes if you're in the city, and about an hour if you're from like Staten Island or like New Jersey. So it's really easy to get to. It's all highway travel. So I wouldn't I wouldn't get all uptight about it or anything like that. It's all highway, so real easy. Again, you could take the train right from Grand Central. You could take a bus. It's real easy, no problem. So yeah. So what he means is, do we need a designated driver or not? Let's see. Probably not. There really aren't that many bars around there, oddly enough. But we're working on beer for the future events. We have connections, people. But we'll see. Yeah, Mojave 44, Grand Central Station to right next door. Nice. Carry a flask. There you go. So we want to make another. I'm not making an announcement per se, but I do want to tease out. FilmSnobbery has another show coming out a little bit later this year. Later this year, it's going to be probably later this month, probably end of this month, maybe start of February. We're just trying to wrap up a lot of stuff that we have going on right now. But FilmSnobbery's coming out with another show. We'll be launching it. It will be a daily format. Literally Monday through Friday. Weekends we'll have off, but Monday through Friday. If you guys have seen or are familiar with shows like Geek Beat TV or shows that, the short form content, usually about 5 minutes, kind of newsy, kind of whatever, basically that's what it's going to be, and we will be launching that shortly. We are calling it merchandise idea, FilmSnobbery Official Flask. We're calling it, the new show is going to be called FilmSnobbery Daily. It'll be, I will be hosting it, but it will have a little bit different look and flavor to what we're doing now. It'll, again, short form content, real easy for on the go, and basically it will be part indie film news show, part, hey, here's some cool new stuff that you guys should probably be aware of in your world of independent film, and stuff that you should be looking at to either use, buy, whatever. So it's going to be really, we're really looking forward to launching that FilmSnobbery Daily. That'll be a nice companion piece to FilmSnobbery Live, so you guys can get a more daily dose of what we're doing, and that's that. So. Jake Saylor, Nick is going to replace Oprah. I've got the whole weight gain thing down, so I can replace Oprah that way. Miles Maker in blackface. Miles, if I could get away with blackface, don't you think I would? But that's racist. But anyways, stuck like Jerry. Jerry's going to be my Gale. People are just going to constantly think that we're gay. But we're not.
We're going to go camping together.
We're totally going camping together. And, we should do the FilmSnobbery Favorite Things show. And it's like, and you get this, and you get this.
We don't give away any of it. We don't get what we want. Can't afford.
It's like our Christmas list.
It's pretty much, yeah, we'll put like an Amazon wish list up on there. Like, if you want to buy us our favorite things.
Here's our link to our Amazon wish list. And First Class Film says, instead of the book of the week, we'll have the film of the week, and we can start the FilmSnobbery Film Club. See, now, Jerry, I hope you're writing all this down, because this is gold.
You have to start talking like that, too. And every guest has to be introduced, how.
We have on Jake Statler. No, see, when I say it, it just sounds horrendously gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I gotta wave my. No, I need a couch to jump on. Is what I need.
Well, now are you Tom Cruise or are you Oprah?
Dow X Productions says, "Mom, Miles is playing the race card again. When doesn't he? The race card is his ace of spades up his sleeve. He plays it all the time, but I love it. Jazz hands. Yeah. Can I do spirit fingers instead of jazz hands? I'll do spirit fingers. These aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. I can't. I just quoted. There. Yeah. That's bad. That's really bad when you can quote "Bring It On." But anyways, so
it's already been brought in.
It's been. There. Oh wow! There we go.
Now I quoted not another team movie.
Nice. So I want to thank everyone. We had a great show tonight. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I want to thank specifically Mojave44, Jake Stetler, First Glance Film, Dowx Productions, T Scartographer. I want to thank Kim Garland, KGNYC.
You want to thank Miles Maker, our very own Tyler Perry.
Oh my God, Miles Maker is our Tyler Perry. That's correct. That's awesome. That's racist, but I love it. Anyway, I want to thank our guests, Rick Vaicius and Lucas McNelly. Again, Lucas McNelly, A Year Without Rent. You can go check it out on Kickstarter. Rick Vaicius, Flyway Film Festival. He's got that kind of great contest. Nice little. Send in your trailers, 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Send them on in. Also, they have open submissions going on right now for the Flyway Film Festival in October. Check it out. It will be awesome. So. Wow, we've got, that's the show. I've got nothing else. I want to thank Jerry for joining me tonight and kind of moderating the chat. I know you guys don't hear him very much, but he does do quite a bit behind the scenes here in the chat room, and I want to thank him for that. And let's see, Dowx Productions, Yo Nick, still waiting on that FilmSnobbery shirt. How can I be sexy without it? You can't be sexy, and that's the problem. And no, I apologize for the wait on that. We're having horrendous issues with our shirt vendor. We went from one who promised. I'll give you the layout. Basically, we sent the designs to the vendor. They're like, fine, no problem. We got the pricing. The pricing was awesome. We're happy. We said, okay, we're good. Yeah, great. We launched the shirts for pre-order. You know, we got a couple pre-orders in, and then they came back and said, oh, by the way, the black shirts that you guys have, and so of course it's always the blacks. No kidding. The black shirts that some people ordered and stuff like that. Unfortunately, they're like, oh, by the way, yours is full color. We don't screen print. We don't have a digital printer, so we can't screen print full color in black. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that before I put the goddamn things up on sale? So, so we're working out the kinks with that vendor and also looking for a supplemental vendor because we may not stick with this one vendor for very long. Yeah, so the long and short is that that's what's going on with the shirts. We will get them to you in the next month. By next month, I mean, hopefully by the end of January is the plan.
Spring, hopefully.
Yeah, so when you can actually wear them. But I do feel bad. I feel bad for the people who pre-ordered them. Thankfully, you know, we did kind of classify it as pre-order, but I don't want people to think that I just took the money and ran. I do have all the orders. They're here. We're just really trying to figure out the best way for, I hate to say it, the best way for us to make money off the merchandise while also making sure that we're giving you guys quality stuff. We could easily go to like Cafe Press or Zazzle or one of those kind of sites, but I almost said shites, but we're not going to make a dime on those, and really we're using the merchandise to help fund things like our advertising and our bandwidth and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, that we're trying to do, including the screening series, etc. Because none of this shit is cheap. I mean, I know it looks cheap, but it isn't. So anyways, that is the yeah. But we'll definitely get you guys. Oh, Alexia Anastasio's in the chat room, and Alexia, I want to quickly say congratulations. You won movie tickets for contributing to Lucas McNelly's A Year Without Rent. So congratulations. Yeah, and still. You know, so we're going to make sure that we get you guys quality shirts. One of the companies we're talking to now can actually get us. We're looking at can actually get us American Apparel shirts, which I hear are pretty decent. This is how I leave the house, so I'm not really a fashion person. But the American Apparel shirts are relatively inexpensive. But the idea is that you can get them inexpensively, but you have to buy them in bulk. So that's the other side of it too. It's like I can go out and purchase the one shirt that you guys ordered, but it's going to cost us 10 times as much than if I order 100 of them. And while I am not a fan of carrying inventory, because I think that's a poor business practice, unfortunately, I think that's what we're going to have to do to make sure you guys get the best deal on the shirts and we get the best profit margin. Because, anyway, that's how it is. So, yeah, I want to yeah, I want to thank everyone. Oh, by the way, Alexia, email me, Nic, N-I-C, it's just N-I-C, at FilmSnobbery.com with your mailing address and information, and what I'll do is I will send you those VIP tickets to landmark theaters. You can go see whatever movie you want. So, and that's what you get for doing it. First Glance Film, I called your guy. He's one of the alternate vendors that I'm working with, Seth. Real nice guy. Great t-shirts, but we're working with him to see what we can do in terms of the colors, because we're having an issue with that. Jamie Calder has won himself a copy of Final Draft. Does that mean we got a $100 donation for a year without rent?
I think that's what it means.
Wow.
Congratulations, Lucas.
Oh, nice. Congrats. Awesome. All right, so that being said, it's time to end the show now, because we're going to get off the rails even more, and it's going to be all that. So what we're going to do is we'll work on the shirts. We'll work on getting everything to you guys, and we're going to work on launching a new show that you guys will see soon. So stay tuned for everything we've got going on. Hopefully we see you guys January 30th at the Palace Theater in Danbury, Connecticut, and join us every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at live.filmsnobbery.com for Film Snobbery Live. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/filmsnobbery, facebook.com/filmsnobbery. If you haven't friended us up there or liked our page or whatever the hell they're calling all that stuff now, you guys should definitely do that. And we're going to do our best to continue providing the best coverage of indie film and interviews that we can possibly do in 2011. See you next week.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.